discussing why college athletes should get paid throughout their 4 years at a university, 2 years at a community college, or however long they play college sports. So paying college athletes is smart since they contribute similar time and exertion as most American workers. School athletes produce a lot of cash because of the exhibitions of their games, groups, and youthful competitors. Sorry, I meant school colleges. Have become multi-million-dollar amusement organizations that rake in boatloads of cash for school establishments. The incomes created from the projects keep on expanding each year due to the degree where schools can support different programs. Part of the explanation schools acquire attractive benefits from the project is the cooperation of college athletes. Most school sports programs get their incomes from support bargains, ticket deals, pullover deals, and broadcasting bargains. Paying college athletes for taking part in sports programs is an issue that has been subject to discussions throughout the long term. College athletes regularly battle to make a decent living despite being given full grants that cover convenience, educational costs, dinners, and charges for the 4 years that they're in school or longer. Notwithstanding, extra expenses related with being a student athlete are not covered by the grants. All things considered, athletes need to foot these additional expenses out from their own pockets, like purchasing or leasing suits for pledge drives or compulsory dinners. Sanderson and Siegfried 2015. Numerous would contend that it is a little costly to pay contrasted with the full grant granted to them. Nonetheless, they should recognize that grants are the solitary methods for most college athletes to go to school since they come from oppressed areas or they come from a low-income family and can't afford to go to college. And they are basing their college tuition off of getting that scholarship from a sport that they play competitively. Accordingly, their expedition in sports and games turns into simply their opportunity to go to school. Paying college athletes will expand the intensity of different game programs. Layered installments given to proficient parts in sports like ball persuade them to perform better. The difficult work from proficient college athletes helps their absolute wages from sponsorship bargains and media occasions. Steckler, 2015. In that capacity, paying college athletes will help them center around their schooling and their game without agonizing over where to get cash to provide food for their everyday needs. Likewise, it assists with keeping college athletes from failing to meet expectations on the field. Incomes acquired from school sports programs are not reinvested in the groups, particularly helping them in seeking after their expert and instructive objectives. All things considered, the benefits created are divided among mentors, executives, and athletic chiefs. College athletes should be paid on the grounds that returns are distributed to lost projects that do not address their government assistance or improve their schools. Mentors, their collaborators, and executives of school sports programs get paid liberally to do their jobs. Most NCAA mentors, coaches are paid more than $100,000 every year, close by their collaborators and consultants who assist them with the preparation of the responsibility. The profit of mentors, coaches practically triple what educators and instructors get paid, despite being relied upon to work with the scholarly achievement of the competitors or college athletes. Schools with enormous games programs pay their lead trainers, coaches, a huge number of dollars because the foundations hope to determine considerably more benefits. Assuming universities can burn through a large number of dollars on a mentor or a coach, they should be able to repay their college athletes since the cash is so accessible. It will help them acquire the cash that they need to pretty much live being in college and being an athlete. If the students wind up turning out to be proficient competitors and go pro, the abilities will assist them with dealing with the cash they will acquire. Additionally, little allowances to the athletes will show them how to save, considering that it is a fundamental expertise that most young athletes and pretty much any young person needs. build seriousness in the sports at the school level, and help them acquire fundamental cash and board abilities. Schools get cosmic benefits from sports projects, and it is quite reasonable that they remunerate the competitors, college athletes, since they are the main partners. Moreover, coaches and directors procure gigantic pay rates and execution rewards, notwithstanding the little job they play in the achievement of school athletic projects, which is additionally treacherous. Athletes would not be an immense issue for the NCAA. School sports, all in all, acquire $11 billion yearly. The players are bringing in the cash for the NCAA, and their schools are getting paid with no acknowledgement for it. Taking everything into account, college athletes should get paid because of that reality that they lack the capacity to deal with occupations. They don't have time to get a job because they are getting up for 6 a.m.s 3 times a week, doing lifts the other 2 times a week, running after the lifts, just doing and then going to class. I myself was a college athlete, and I know 3 times a week we got up for 6 a.m.s. Then we would, which were lifting. The other 2 days we had practice, we were running, we were, doing all the things to get ready for the game that weekend or the next weekend, and then having class in between all that and trying to pretty much keep your life stable and maintaining school relationships. Everything is pretty much almost impossible with being a student athlete. Help work of cash and prepare them for grown-uphood. If college athletes got a compensation for being engaged with sports, that would drastically change the youthful people in general. It would change their lives, and they would definitely, I think, want to go to college more. If there were college athletes that wanted to go to college but they felt that they couldn't pay for it, I think being paid would definitely change their mind, and they would work harder, especially in school, to get there, not just because they're getting paid, but because maybe they don't think that they can afford to get to college, but they're good at a sport. So with that in mind, I think that college athletes should be paid.